It has now been over 24 hours since the fatal shooting of a female driver by an ICE agent in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we're getting a much more clear picture of what happened. The media all over X, the mainstream, have lost their effing minds. They've lost their minds about this. The local authorities in Minnesota and Minneapolis are gone. They're too far gone to be reasoned with. They're going to get an ICE agent killed. That's what's going to happen. They're not going to be happy until an ICE agent is dead. I realize a woman died yesterday. I'm sorry, but that was her own doing. Who among us would not understand that if we did not respond to law enforcement surrounding our car, telling us to get out, we were endangering ourselves? Who among us would expect to live if we pressed the accelerator with a cop in front of our SUV? That's what she did. Everyone would know you are putting your own life in danger. There's so much to get to. There is a stunning development that just happened in this story that we, I believe exclusively, just confirmed. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem mentioned in media interviews yesterday that the ICE agent who shot the driver in Minneapolis was involved. He was involved in a prior incident last June that was very similar to what happened yesterday. Well, we now have the video of that incident, and we've confirmed with the government that this is the relevant video that Kristi Noem was referencing. This is video of the incident she was referencing involving this same officer. He was dragged during an ICE arrest just this past June and got seriously injured. This same guy, this poor ICE agent. Per the Department of Justice, on June 17th, 2025, law enforcement officers attempted to arrest Roberto Carlos Munoz Guatemala, a convicted sex offender, on an immigration order. By the way, this is what ICE officers are trying to do. This is the terrible work that these lunatics are out there protesting against. They'd rather have Mr. Guatemala have access to their children, I guess, because this agent that they're now demonizing as a murderer was the one who stopped him, along with his fellow ICE agents. The guy was uncooperative. He refused to follow instructions. After warning him several times, an agent, who is the same agent involved in yesterday's shooting, broke the back window of the suspect's car so that he could open the vehicle from the inside. The man then accelerated his car. You can see it's the same agent. The guy had a mask on yesterday, but same hair. As he sped away, the agent's arm became trapped between the seat and the car frame. You can't see the agent in this video we're showing, but we are showing the car rushing away from the scene. The agent is on the driver's side toward the back, so you cannot see him being dragged, but he's being dragged, and that's undisputed, for more than 100 yards, while the maniac driving the car is weaving back and forth in an attempt to shake him from the car, completely immune to the thought of running over him or what other damage he was causing. The agent was eventually jarred free from the car, but suffered significant injuries to his arms and hand. Look at this. If you're only listening to this, you've got to go and check out our YouTube at 3 minutes after the hour. His arm looks mutilated. It's a shot of him in his hospital bed where you can't see his head, but you can see his arms and his legs. And that arm clearly shows the damage of what he had just been through. Okay, this is incredibly relevant to what this guy's perception of the danger was. Now, we'll get into the legal standard, which is more of whether it was objectively reasonable for him to think this woman was going to run over him. But that incident will play into whether it was objectively reasonable. Other ICE agents and other cops have been watching this happen time after time. It's happened over 100 times that ICE agents have been charged, rammed, or dragged by so-called watchers. They're calling her like an observer. Like we just have eyes on the cop. You are much more than an observer, madam. These guys are putting their lives on the line every day to arrest people like Mr. Guatemala, who was molesting kids. That's what they're doing there. That's what Mayor Jacob Fry appears to object to, not to mention Governor Tim Walz. What a shock. Okay, now we're going to walk you through the key videos from yesterday showing what happened in detail. That video we brought to you yesterday at the end of our show was ultimately the video that President Trump tweeted out as well. It is critical. So many of the people who jumped down the throats of these cops didn't see it or ignored it because it was inconvenient to show her actually accelerating into the cop who shot her. But it's all there on tape. We'll begin with the moments leading up to the shooting. Currently, there are no videos we've seen showing what happened leading up to the incident. But there is a witness account that 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good, she's the one who was shot, Renee Good, was blocking traffic, hoping to impede ICE investigations. That's what she was doing there. All right. Her wife has admitted it. Democrats are calling her, as I pointed out, a quote, legal observer. Wrong. What's been reported so far about her background makes clear she was there to agitate, and her actual job had nothing to do with the law. She was a poet.
I woke up to some commotion. I heard some whistles going on out front, so I came downstairs to see what was going on. Wasn't even dressed. And there was a car, the Honda Pilot that's crashed over there now. There was a car blocking the 2 lanes of Portland traffic. And the ICE agents got out and they were saying, get out of here, get out of here. She was the main car leading the protest, is my understanding. I talked to another guy who was driving behind her. But she was very successful in blocking traffic. She was doing what she was set out to do, and so they wanted to get her the hell out of there. Yeah.
So it looked like she was impeding ICE vehicles.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
That was her goal.
This is a sympathetic witness to her. The clip goes on. She's very angry at ICE. If anything, this woman had a reason to lie to make the woman driving the car, Renee Good, sound better. But there she is on camera saying, very clearly that this woman who was ultimately shot was leading the protests and impeding the traffic across this Portland Avenue, that she was parked perpendicular to the traffic. Now, that'll get you arrested pretty much 10 times out of 10. So this is not a fan of ICE, and clearly her eyewitness testimonial is not favorable to Ms. Good. In this still image, you see a federal agent who we believe is the agent who eventually fires at Ms. Good. The agent is being followed closely by a female protester. She has identified herself as Renee Good's wife. She has her phone up, likely recording him. The agent also has a phone in his hand, likely recording her. Did the agent have a negative interaction with these women that caused him to begin recording too? We don't know yet. But clearly something was going on before, and it wasn't needlepoint. We have not yet seen the actual video that was on the cop's phone. But here's video we do have of that moment and what happened afterward. Again, they both appear to be recording each other's actions. You see a gray truck pull up. We talked about that yesterday. 2 federal agents step out. The driver of the maroon SUV, Ms. Good, says, "What's going on?" The officers quickly walk up and tell Ms. Good to get out of the car and then to, quote, get out of the fucking car. Things are escalating. Good's window is down. She's looking directly at them. There is no way she did not hear the commands to get out of her car, repeated commands. She then puts her car into reverse, and here is the part of the video with sound of the agents making the commands and her beginning to reverse.
Get out of the fucking car.
No! We believe that's her wife yelling no and recording. Right as Good reverses her car, you're about to see the agent who fired the shot move in front of the vehicle near the driver's side headlight. It's video. There's one guy on the side who's blocking the agent at issue, but you can see that there is an agent in front of her car. It's right there, black and white. At first, you only see the agent at the driver's side door, and his body is kind of blocking the shooting cop. He's fighting to get the car door open as Good goes into reverse. The agent who fired the shots moves into the frame in front of the SUV. Good is still reversing backward. She immediately puts it in drive and starts accelerating forward toward the cop. There was zero hesitation. between Good reversing the vehicle and putting it into drive and clearly pressing the gas. By the way, this cop clearly would have heard the car begin to accelerate. About 2 seconds passes between the tires moving forward and the gunfire. The same agent then fires 2 more rounds. At that point, the SUV keeps moving forward before eventually crashing into a parked car. And the bullet hole that you can see is in the front windshield. The front. That's where he took the initial shot to stop her from running him over. The agent, again, who we understand was the one to fire the shot, did walk down toward the crashed SUV before walking back up and telling others to call 911. There is another angle of the shooting that we brought to you yesterday, which I mentioned, which is key. This video was obtained by the local ABC affiliate. We've circled the agent and we've slowed down the video. Look at this. I'm sorry, but he's getting run over when he fires the shot. You can clearly see her hit him. That's what happens. It's blurry, but you see him put his foot back to brace himself as he was hit by the car before he fires and moves to the side. Here's an image of his leg backward, appearing to brace himself. You've got to watch this on our YouTube channel if you're just listening to this now. We've added an arrow pointing toward his leg so you can see what we're talking about. Okay, this guy knew he was about to get hit. We also noticed something else. Something interesting that will be huge if it gets released to the public. The agent who fires his gun, as I referenced, is holding up his cell phone still, likely still recording when she accelerates toward him. Here's a closer image. You see his hand holding what appears to be his phone. So there is likely video of this incident from the agent's vantage point. And if this does go to trial, that will be extremely important evidence. From this image, you can see where one of the bullets entered, again, the driver's window. There's also another video taken by another eyewitness that shows agents telling a man who says he's a doctor that he can't go near the victim to help her. Watch this.
Can I go check a pulse?
No! Back up! Now!
I'm a physician!
I don't care. We understand. We got EMS coming. I get it. Just give us a second. We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Where are they? How can I relax? You just killed my fucking neighbor. You caught butter in the fucking face. You killed my fucking neighbor. How do you show up to work every day? How the fuck do you do this every day?
How do you protect Mr. Guatemala, lady, to molest the children of Minneapolis? That's the real question. So now they're ripping on the cops because they didn't let some rando who claimed to be a physician, they had no idea whether he was, have access to the crime scene, and the woman who was behind the wheel of the car apparently already dead. They did call 911. They did have EMS on the way, as you heard the officer say. There's no obligation to let some rando come over and corrupt your crime scene, all right? There's not. And there's no obligation to let yourself be run over by a dangerous instrumentality, which is what a car is, certainly an SUV, but any car. That you are being fed so many lies by the mainstream media right now, not to mention the Democrat officials in Minnesota. You really do have to pay attention to understand the law and what's real. A new year means new financial goals, like making sure your savings are secure and diversified. Will this be the year you decide to talk to someone from Birch Gold Group? They use an educational approach with a deep understanding of macroeconomics. There are forces pushing the dollar lower and gold higher, which is why they believe every American should own physical gold. So until January 30th, if you're a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, you just text MK to the number 989898. Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you are still eligible for a rebate of up to $10,000. Consider making right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate up to $10,000 when you buy before January 30th. Text MK to the number 989898. Claim your eligibility today. Again, text MK to 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.